Hello friends, I'm Sriram and today I wanna discuss about 8 pillars of prosperity. Now, 8 pillars of prosperity. Prosperity is something that everyone yearns for. They need it. Although it does have different definitions for different people. It can range from fame, money, it can be relations, or it can just be wanting to have peace of mind. Or it can sometimes some people just vaguely sum it up to success. So, uh, what are these 8 pillars of prosperity? So, let's start with just naming them: economy, energy, economy, integrity, system, sympathy, sincerity, impartiality, and self-reliance. So, instead of jumping right into energy, let's start with uh, an introduction to these 8 pillars. Prosperity in general rests on moral foundations. There are a lot of things in life where people just vaguely sum it up and make sentences that are superficial and thoughtless. For example, a relatively famous quote: "No man can be successful in business unless he is dishonest." This is a completely superficial and thoughtless statement, and it really reveals the lack of knowledge of morality, basically. You can think of thoughts as seeds and your mind as soil. Whenever you have a thought, the seed is sown into your mind, and whatever is the product is the deed, it's the outcome of what you do. And this deed will form another seed, and it will be sown in the soil of another person, meaning it could make a thought be sown into another person or your own mind. So we won't talk. We'll talk about each specific one later on, each specific pillar later on. But there are various things to forming what is called the temple of prosperity. It's basically the final goal in prosperity. The temple of prosperity is basically what defines your prosperity. It shows if it's complete or not. So in this temple of prosperity, there are three layers basically. The very first is foundation. Next are the pillars, and then is the finishing touches on the top. So we already talked about what the talk that there are 8 pillars of prosperity. So what is the foundation? The foundation is something that's related to every single pillar. It's morality and character. You'll notice further on that every single pillar has to do with the person's morality and their thinking process, their thought process. So imagine principles, a man with principles, a man with principles that help nobody. It can be principles like not doing your work, or it can be principles like postponing time, postponing things. It can be principles about not caring about others. So, can you really imagine a person with such qualities and being successful in life? So, the foundation wholly depends on moral perfection. Yeah, it solely depends on moral perfection, and very few can achieve total moral perfection. Ordinary prosperity, which can be everyday successes, can be achieved through being perfect in a few few pillars or few principles. Of course, this won't help you much in the long term, because at the end of the day, it doesn't fully complete help you complete your temple of prosperity. In your temple of prosperity, like I said, morality is the foundation of your temple of prosperity, and failure is inevitable. It is unavoidable. It is unavoidable where all where morality is ignored. So if you are not moral, then what can you? So there's two things: unmoral and immoral. So unmoral can be defined as the negation of substance. It can be ignoring principles. Meanwhile, immorality can be something that negates form. It is completely it is completely opposing principles and going in the opposite direction. And one needs to remember that all deeds always come back to the person that throws them. So you need to be mindful about your actions. Thank you. And next we'll start with the very first pillar, energy.